So I'm assuming we're back with Mike Sloves. You're a magician?
Yeah, I am, sir.
Cool, dude. How long have you been doing that?
Oh, wow. Since I was about 19, so I stopped counting. About 28 years.
Wow. Have you do you perform a lot?
You know, it's funny. Not anymore. Life took over. You know, if I were to ask you to name a famous magician or a couple famous magicians, you could probably name 2 or 3, maybe 5 if you're
David
really,
Copperfield,
Yep.
Penn Tower.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the Amazing Jonathan.
Amazing Jonathan. Oh, he's awesome. Okay. Chris Angel, maybe. David Blaine, right?
Yeah.
I just named the 5. If you want to go for the bonus round, we say Houdini.
That's all I know. Yeah.
Right? I mean, how many magicians have gotten rich and really made a good living and supported a family without, having to worry about, oh, shit, when's my next fucking show?
Yeah.
Not many. So I had dreams at one point of being a full-time magician.
Oh, there's Uncle Magic, too. I'm sorry.
Uncle Magic. Don't get cock magic. For all you South Park fans. It's fun. I was ahead of my time.
When did you stop?
Geez. Probably right around, right before I got married, and if you do the math, and my kid is 18 years old, and I'm about to celebrate my 19th anniversary, so do the math.
Wow.
I'm not ashamed. So, it's how I married her. If you took a look at my wife, you'd understand. I had to knock her up to get her to marry me. Got her drunk one night. What
Gotta
can I say?
get one of those, Slim.
So, I was performing restaurant magic, mainly walk around private parties.
That's what I was wondering if you do kids parties or anything.
Oh, fuck no, I hate kids. No, I can't say that. Anyone who knows me.
I think I remember you mentioning that on one of your shows.
No, I cannot do kid shows, and once last year I got tricked into it, and it was an absolutely horrendous experience, and I was exhausted at the end of it, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Thanks a lot. So I do mainly adults. In case you didn't notice, I don't care about using blue and off-color language.
Nice.
And I like doing parties and doing magic for people where I can play off of them. And if someone heckles me, I don't mind putting them down and doing what I need to do. But if a little kid says, "I know how you did that," and you can't say, "Fuck you, little mother,
you
fucking
little shit.
Get
your dad, you're gonna punch him."
Best part of you just drip down your mother's leg. I can't. So I got to do adult parties. So I do walk around magic. I do corporate magic. I do private parties. I perform probably half a dozen times a year that I would call a paid gig.
I was gonna ask, is it friends of
a lot of it's word of mouth.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's cool.
I have a website. I have a Facebook page, and it's it's really not that active. But what I am is I'm really active in I'll call it the magic community. Everything has a subculture, right?
Right.
Magic has a subculture. I'm really involved in things that happen behind the scenes for magicians, with magicians. I have a lot of really strong opinions. I think I've been in it long enough, almost 30 years, where even though I'm not a full-time working professional, I'm considered a semi-professional or an avid amateur who occasionally does a paying gig. Quite frankly, I think I'm entitled to my opinion.
Yes,
I've seen a lot of bad magic. I've seen a lot of good magic. I've performed good magic, and I've performed bad magic. And I've seen people say, "Oh my God, I do that. I'm that. Oh fuck."
I was gonna try to come up with some really bad, crappy tricks, and we have a little competition. But
why not?
I never got that far. All I got was name a number between 1 and 10.
4.
Wrong. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Damn it.
Wrong.
Look, a bird.
That's awesome.
I'm fooling you. You don't like it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know. I was prepping all day like I usually do, but it's scrap that idea.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd have a magician on the show. I mean, but hey, why not?
Because, like I said, man, I listened to your podcast and I loved it. I loved the flow of it. I loved that it was just like a hangout and it wasn't, like I said, like I was telling him outside, when I was really into the magic thing, I was looking for magician podcasts. And I was listening to this one mainstream one, Richard Young, and he has all these famous, well-known magicians on it. And it was
Scotty Wells too. Did you get the Magic Word podcast? Just Scotty Wells.
I might have. I don't know, but anyway, so this guy, I mean, it's good if you're into magic, a lot of interesting things, but it was just heavily edited. You can hear all the cuts, and it was just he was very almost scripted, but not. But that he was very, very he wasn't. I don't know. It's not like their podcast was like ours, where it's
I listened to some
guys.
today. Yeah, I think one of you guys burped. I'm like, all right, this is what we do.
Yeah, I listened to one today where they're talking about a woman scraping out her uterus or something, like just shit like that. I'm like,
that's the shit we talk about.
And like I said too, like you hear like beers opening and stuff, and I'm like, this is cool.
Yep.
This is the type of stuff that I like to listen to.
So it's funny.
Who are the guys you do with?
What do you mean?
Other guys on the show with you.
Okay.
How many are there?
There's typically 3 of us. That's like there's a core 3, and then we have another guy who's just kind of joining us a little bit more regularly now. But typically we're 3, maybe 4. We had a 5th guy last night when we recorded. Just he was a special guest. So I think that's the most we've had at one time is 5. So there's Eric, who he's kind of the core guy. He's kind of started the show. There's a whole history behind that, but he used to have a podcast with another friend of his. Who kind of just kind of disappeared into the ether, and life got a hold of him, and as he likes to say, a psychotic wife. You know, he's having emotional problems. He called his wife, and he just like blip gone. And their podcast, they had like 10 or 12 episodes in, and that just kind of went gone. So he still wanted to do something. I've always wanted to do something. Our other buddy Johnny Mass, he wanted to do something. So we've talked about doing it, me and Eric, and then Eric and Johnny, and then Johnny and I, and we just said, fuck it, let's just all do it together.
Nice.
But when we did it, we hate magic podcasts, let me be honest with you. The one that you mentioned, I'm not saying it's a bad podcast, but I really fucking hate it.
Yeah, like
there's another guy who does one.
As soon as I found yours, I stopped listening to his.
Thank you.
That's what it was.
That's a great compliment.
Thank you very much. So the other thing, there's another guy, his name is Scotty Wells, does The Magic Word. Is probably the most listened to or subscribed to podcast out there on magic. And he does one religiously every week. He travels the world and he interviews magicians, and it's an interview show. Most magic podcasts are either going to be interview shows or they're going to be review shows. Reviewing a book, reviewing a trick. We don't like them. So we said, look, let's sit down, and we used to just hang out. Like, you guys just hang out, and you'd sit down at a bar, and you shoot the shit. Yeah. And that's what we would do. When magicians get together, we would jam, like musicians get together and jam. We sit around, and we shoot the shit. We say fuck. We insult each other. We talk about each other's wives, scraping people's uteruses out, punching them in the mouth. Shut the fuck up, stupid. We do all and quite frankly, we crack ourselves up. We're like, what if we had an audience?
Matters. Yeah, exactly.
So the only thing we do is, and I was telling Slim, 2 minutes before the show, sometimes even sooner, we say, what the fuck are we talking about tonight?
Nice.
And we pick a topic,
cool.
And we go for it. And we can spend anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, and we just go for it. And their other rule was we will not censor ourselves. We don't. Matter of fact, we lost a listener about a month ago.
Fuck him.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. It's funny. It actually gave me pause for about a minute. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. We said we're not censoring ourselves. And just because we used the word fuck, and Eric talked about punching his wife for waking him up, I don't care.
If it makes you feel better, we've been attacked by the entire transgender community.
Nice.
We've been told
that is a badge of honor.
We've been told that we should be lit on fire
and dragged
through the streets.
We've had lawsuit threats.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that means you're going places.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I know.
Thank you. And it's the only podcast we know of that's like that. It's just at least magic podcast we know.
I was checking yours out there. I like the subjects you guys were hitting on. Yeah. I heard you talking about, like, there was one deck, I don't know who actually on the show, one deck of cards that they loved from Walgreens, I think. And
the studs.
It got discontinued, and one of you guys went in and were like, what do you have in the back? I'll buy them right now. And
yep.
I never thought of that happening.
Oh yeah, we'll do shit like that. We're weird, man.
A deck of cards though being discontinued. Why? Why would they?
It's weird. We'll even tell you that the bicycle cards, the bikes you can buy in any drugstore, in my U.S. playing card company, we'll tell you that the stuff that's been produced over the last 5 years fucking sucks.
Oh, wow.
Compared to like 5 years prior.
The whole collection of them sitting up there.
I remember John Peasy, too. He was in live once, and he told us about the cards, the differences in the decks.
Yeah.
And,
yep.
What was the other thing you guys talked about? I wanted to ask what it was, because I did listen, but I still didn't really comprehend it, maybe because I'm not a magician. But the wallets, I think you guys
we were talking about card to wallet.
What are those? Are they like for magic tricks?
Yeah. Yep. There are some wallets out there that are, I will say, specially constructed in order to ease the effect instead of having to do some what we call knuckle busting to try to get a card into a wallet. So there are some right. So there are some wallets that are cut and sewn, and certain little flaps and extra things that are built into it. Some of them look cheesy. Some of them don't look real because they're a little bit older and people didn't really care back then. Nowadays, it's all about being organic. I hate that fucking word, but you know, why would I have this weird looking European wallet if I'm sitting here with a pair of jeans on? You know, I want a wallet that looks like a real man's wallet.
Exactly.
But it's gimmicked all the shit, and they cost an arm and a fucking leg.
Do they? I was gonna ask how much they run.
They can run anywhere from about $65 up to I've seen them as high as like 150, 200.
Yeah, still too much. $20.
Yeah, it's way too much.
This is a good price for those. Where do you guys buy stuff? Do you go buy online, or is there a particular magic shop? That you like?
Well, there used to be a shop in Philly, at South Street Magic. That's recently closed, unfortunately. But a lot of the stuff we buy online. There's magic conventions that we go to, and there's usually a dealer room where people set up and you can buy stuff there. There's 2 great magic shops probably within driving distance of this area. First one is called Denny and Lee's. It's probably the last great big brick and mortar magic shop down in Baltimore. You walk in there and it's a shithole. All right, if you want to basically picture in your mind what an old guy who smokes Winston cigarettes 2 packs a day does because he's at his shop for 14, 15 hours a day. It's only him. What this shop might look like, and he's been there for 50 years. You know, it's just stuff strewn everywhere, but the motherfucker knows exactly where everything
is. Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he's even got a theater in the back with more storage, with even more shit that you don't see out front. I mean, this is a great magic shop. And
wow.
I'm afraid its days are probably numbered. And then the other great one is probably one of the oldest ones in the country, which is Tannen's Magic, which is up in New York City. That one, you walk in and you walk into a showroom no bigger than this room that we're in, but it's got the whole floor and it's a big warehouse all around it. And it's just this one showroom, and you gotta kind of go in and either you talk to the guys if you don't know what you're looking for. You explain it, and most of the time, they'll, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll be back in a minute. Go and grab it, bring it back.
Over the years, what is the one thing you've spent the most on? Like, is it decks of cards?
Oh, fuck. One thing I spent the most on, Jesus, coins. Coins. I used to be really heavily into coin magic, and I'll be honest, a lot of the stuff that we do is using gimmick coins. I might not tell you. Here's the thing. I don't mind telling you they're gimmick coins because you can go on eBay, Amazon, or YouTube, and you can find out what types of gimmick coins there are.
Yeah.
But in the hands of a professional, in the hands of a really good magician, you won't know that you're still looking at gimmick coins.
Right.
Okay.
And I have exacting taste, if you will, in coins. So I don't use the old Kennedy $half that are worth 50 cents. I use Walking Liberty $half.
Oh, nice.
From 1940s. So you're talking about first the silver value, and then the value of them actually having to go out and machine those coins.
That's what I was going to ask. Are they real? Are they the original coin that they've done something to, or
yeah.
is it?
They're real coins they're real coins that have been doctored.
That's what I'm
in various ways.
Wow.
And they can run anywhere from I paid just for a single coin gimmick. I paid over $120 for another gimmick set that has a couple of other things that it does. I've paid over $300. Now that's just for Walking Liberties. I also have a set of Morgan silver dollars.
Oh, they're gorgeous too.
The Morgans are beautiful.
Coins,
and the way they feel and the way they sound.
Yes.
I just got a chubby. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, those are basically take the price of the Walking Liberties and double them.
Yeah.
For the same thing.
Yep.
So yeah, that's probably the most money I've ever spent is on coins. But collectively, over 30 years, by far it's cards. You know, a deck of cards
you
is
gotta replace.
Yeah, a deck of cards is
right?
$2. And then over the course of 30 years, how many decks of cards I cannot even begin to count. And you want to have fun as a magician? I know you said you were into it for a little while. Watch people who aren't magicians as you either write on or rip a card, and their eyes go buggy. He's like, you just ripped a fucking card. Your deck's ruined.
That's what I wonder. Do you use the same deck? Like, if you, how many cards do you rip until you use a new deck?
Probably till at least 12 to 15. And then what I'll do is that deck, if I'm doing a gig, that deck will get basically just thrown into my case. I'll break out a new deck, and all those cards that I didn't use get put in a big pile for me to use for practice or for ripping or for doing other shit with. So they at least get recycled in some way, shape, or form, just behind the scenes. You know?
Yeah.
Now, I was curious because you said you spent a lot of money on coins things that you have to replace too?
No.
Like the gimmick coins?
No, unless you drop it and it dings and you step on it or it gets stolen, which has happened too. I can't tell you how many coins have walked at a convention because there's some scumbag just didn't want to spend his own money. I know people have lost like $300 sets of what we call Lassens made by a guy. His last name is Lassen, and they're like some of the top coins you can get. You know, it's like, first of all, you got to wait 2 or 3 months to get the damn things, and then they're $300-400, and you don't leave those lying around, or you don't leave your case lying around if someone sees you have them. Dicks.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I was gonna ask too, dude. Like you said, you could just look them up on eBay and all that. Like, does that take anything away when you do a trick? Are there a lot of people, more people nowadays that there were back in the day that would be like, I know how you did that.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Face over that.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I fucking hate the internet for that.
Yeah,
oh, it's infuriating.
Well, the first thing that came to mind when I was prepping this, I don't know if you know, Slim, but you probably remember, Mike. There was a guy in the 90s, I think. Yes, who was that jerk off? And he would go.
That was Valentino.
That was okay. I was googling it. And
that was
Valentino, and he would go on TV.
Valentino, and he got ostracized for that shit. He was getting death threats for that shit. You know, it's funny. The stuff that he did, though, a lot of the stuff that he exposed was old.
Okay,
right? A lot of it was old, but still, it was the principle of the thing. It was like, dude, you know, you.
Nothing had been done like that beforehand.
Yeah,
it was always like magician never tells his secrets.
Right, and that was the marketing ploy behind it. And yeah, he gave away the zigzag, which honestly, okay, I'm not a big illusion guy. I don't have a big truck that I travel around to different shows and do a stage production. But quite frankly, zigzag, which is, you know, the woman stands in the cabinet with the 3 sections and they move the middle section out and her hands up here.
Yeah.
All right. That thing's fucking expensive. All right. To get a good one is like $1,500.
Wow.
All right. And when that's in people's acts currently, and someone goes out there on Fox and decides to expose it.
Oh shit,
dude. I don't blame him for wanting to string his balls up.
Right, I'd be breaking his legs and shit.
You know, there was some, like, he even exposed, like, some things with, like, the gimmick rings and shit like that. I'm like, and the thumb tips. I'm like, you fucking asshole. You know?
I thought I remembered hearing about him getting, like you said, ostracized and death threats. I thought I remembered that.
There was this trick I did for someone once. It's basically this trick. So it looks like one rubber band is behind the others. And here, I'll try it on camera. No, maybe that way. No. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Who cares? I don't give a shit. I'm doing it for you. I'm not doing it for them. By the book, I did. All right, here's what you do. So one band's behind the other, right? And then you do this, and they come apart. I did that for someone. I have a whole 4 or 5 minute routine on that. And 2 days later, he comes up to me and says, "Oh, I looked it up on YouTube. How you did that? That's really cool." What do you mean? He's like, "Yeah, the thing with the rubber bands. What about it?" "Oh, I looked it up on YouTube. I could never do it, but you do it so well." I'm like, yeah, great. Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah. Did you enjoy the magic? Oh, it was really cool. Fuck you.
Yeah, man.
You know, what are you going to do? It's, the YouTube sucks for the shit. And I don't mind if someone goes on YouTube and says, hey, look what I've been practicing. And they do it halfway decently, or they do it really well, and they want people's opinions or whatever. Great. But if you're on a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid, and if you're a 14, 15-year-old kid, you shouldn't be listening to this fucking podcast, degenerate. I'm going to beat your parents. So anyway, I mean, they go on there and they do it badly, and they're exposing it unknowingly. And even worse, you got some kids out there who's like, oh, I just got this for Christmas, and let me show you how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid is just, you want to just punt him. You know, and it's just horrible.
Now, do you think it's better for people to learn from books than video, or do you think video kind of helps a little?
I think you should start learning from books. I did a whole, I don't know if you heard the show. We did a whole thing on books, right? I have a library. Eric's got a library. Johnny's got a library. I mean, someday I'll take pictures of this and mail them to you. This guy we know, Mark D'Souza, who has got probably every magic book printed in the last 100 years.
Wow, that's fucking awesome. I mean,
his basement is like a museum of just stuff. And books are where it starts. And video, I think, is a great addition to the books. Like, learn something from a book. If you're not quite getting it, go to a video, figure out what you're doing wrong, and help you get over a hump. I think it's a great aid. I don't think it's a good replacement.
What's a good starter book, like a good go-to?
Mark Wilson's Course in Magic. You can get it at any book. See, you can get it at any bookstore. It's got some close-up magic. It's even got some stuff that, with a little polish, you could actually put in a professional act. Cool. With a little bit of polish and the right kind of presentation, you could do it.
Did you learn any Slim?
I was learning some SpongeBall stuff from that, actually.
SpongeBob?
SpongeBall. Some SpongeBall stuff from that. And it's like SpongeBall, the little red balls.
Little balls.
And just learning how to do
the
sleight of hand with them.
Cool.
Yeah, and there's good instructions on little stuff like that, like the palming and things. Like that.
There's 100 different ways to palm a sponge ball and produce a sponge ball. And 4 DVD sets on sponge balls. One of the most expensive collectible books is the Frank Garcia Sponge Ball Encyclopedia. It's obviously way out of print. The guy's dead. It's like $250 if you can find it.
Wow.
It's just a collector's item,
Yeah.
But yeah, sponge balls are great. Any professional magician can practice and do knuckle busting shit at a gig, but everyone remembers the fucking sponge balls. Everyone wants to do the fucking... Can you do anything with the sponges? Can you do anything with the sponges? What about the rising card thing that I practiced 30 years on? No, we went to the sponge balls. They were really cool. With the sponge bunnies and the sponge dong. There's a sponge cock. I'm really not kidding.
I actually had
you don't have that?
I do not have the sponge cock.
Of them, bro.
I was actually wondering, too, if there were magicians who just specialize in doing, weird, sexual magic. Is that a thing?
Not that
I think the Lamborghini once said it. He was just because I guess.
He said he wondered it, or
because he watched South Park, and I guess you brought up they do
cock magic
and stuff like that. So is there anybody who actually does shit like that, or?
There are people who have very blue humor. I don't think there's anyone that actually, and they do things with. They're really just little asides for adults. Like, here, let me show you something kind of cool. But they don't make their whole act.
Produce a dildo out of
no.
But what I wanted to
I have some friends who are swingers. I can ask them. Maybe they go to these resorts. Maybe there's a magician there that does that kind of shit. I don't know.
But going back to your podcast, and what I want to say, one of the things I liked about it is I think that you guys just give a lot of advice just in the entertainment business in general, because there's things that you guys have talked about that I brought up talking to comedians and stuff like that, because a lot of it sort of coincides.
I
have stolen material as well. I have talked about the clown things you guys.
That's the best shit, the ones you steal.
You guys, I told you about the clowns, how clowns take their faces very serious, and I've learned that from their podcasts of how serious clowns are about their face.
I have friends who are, I'm sorry, you're all fucking psychos. And you're my friends and I still like you, but you're fucking psycho. I mean, these guys have to build up that mental barrier, that brick wall in their psyche to separate themselves from their clown persona.
What?
They refer to their clown character in the third person. Seriously, well, Tinkerbell does this trick, and then Tinkerbell does this trick, and then you realize that you two are one and the same, right?
Wow.
Seriously, it drives me crazy.
And you guys were saying they design their face, and if somebody else steals their face, it's like a huge.
Yeah, it's a faux pas. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, seriously. Yeah, I don't like no. I think I even said this on the show. There's this Venn diagram, and you got magicians over here, and you got clowns over in this little overlap.
What about mimes? Where do they fall into that?
I think they're like the used car salesman of the clown world.
Well, I've always been fascinated recently with that, because we interviewed this girl, Crystal.
I was just thinking of that Crystal, when you said about the clown faces. Crystal, the girl clown.
The girl clown, and she was one of those. It was just the shittiest version of a clown. She just had a heart on her face, and she was like, "I paint faces," and I was like, "Do you make balloon animals?" She's like, "I could make Spider-Man." I'm like, I want a fucking balloon animal, not Spider-Man, and that's all this girl did is she did
had a movie too,
and she had a movie, rom-com.
What?
Called Girl Clown the Movie. Yeah, this was a while ago. We had this.
Oh, I gotta find this episode. Wow,
it's on YouTube. And Slim just crucified her. It was the best. Slim just fucking gave her a lot of shit.
I was angry about him. She was just you're not a clown.
Did she even realize you were busting on her?
I don't know.
Or did she just take it in stride?
I think I tried giving a real corny joke and did this, and she thought that was the best. She's like, "Oh yeah, you guys you guys have the horn. Like,
right. I don't even think she had a horn.
Look, I don't think I've ever met a full-time clown that has actually been like normal, a normal outside of makeup. I'm sorry. I mean, they are definitely like more comfortable in the makeup. I can tell. It's just one of those things.
So you mentioned earlier about like seeing people do bad magic, and you've done bad. Well, give us an example of what bad magic would be.
Oh my god. So, as a matter of fact, I just saw a show recently. I'm not going to name any names in case anyone I know is listening to this. I doubt it, but hey.
nobody listens to us.
Yeah, well, I listened once. Actually, that was a half an episode because it's really long.
Yeah, it is. It's a long haul.
That's okay. So there's this trick where you have a sponge ball, and you bring a guy and a girl up on stage, and basically you have two sponge balls, and you give one to the guy, one to you, and the idea is the one sponge ball turns invisible and travels invisibly over the stage into her hand.
Okay.
And then it goes back and forth, and then you hold one, you hold the other, and then look, I'll give you this one, and it's going to turn invisible and join it in her hand. Yeah, could you stand doing that for 20 minutes? Now, especially with just like corny jokes, like just
the
when
same trick
someone says
over
it
and over again?
it's like, and not even that, it's the same trick 3 times over that 15-20 minute period, followed interspersed with hey, what you have to do is blow into your hand. Oh no, it didn't work, you gotta blow harder. Oh no, it still didn't work, you gotta blow harder. Oh, there it goes.
Oh no.
It's like badly presented, badly slighted, badly framed, and it's like, and then at the end when people go, so there's this legend in the magic business. His name is Bob Little. He's like 85 years old. He's now hard of hearing. Everyone loves the guy. He's a really funny guy, really cool. And he's sitting next to me during this act. And since he's a little hard of hearing, when he talks to you, even if he thinks he's whispering, he's really not.
Really loud.
He says, if he does this again, I'm going to kill him. Doesn't he make you want to rip your face off? Like, yeah, Bob.
Oh, shit. That made me think of my friend Jeremy's grandfather. He said one time he took him out shopping, and they were at a store, and there was a transgendered cashier, and just real loud he leans in and goes, That's not a girl. And Jeremy said he was just horrified.
Oh my god!
I wanted to laugh at the same time, like had to be kind of correct. You know, the person was right there.
Oh, that's great. It's just like Bob.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, this one woman gets up to do this one act, and he leans over to me again and says, "If she does that ring and string thing again, I'm just gonna fucking leave." It's great. So yeah, there's a lot of bad magic out there.
Take a quick break.
Yeah, we will do that.
Back.